It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're talking about. 24 pages. It's a continuing resolution to fund the government through November the 21st. I don't know where they're saying this is some huge partisan thing. This is something we do fairly routinely. And when the Democrats had the majority on 13 different occasions, they had the majority, President Biden was in the White House, we passed continuing resolutions to fund the government. This is purely and simply hostage-taking on behalf of the Democrats. The Republicans are united. House Republicans, Senate Republicans, President Trump. The House has passed a clean funding resolution to fund the government until November the 21st. It's clean, it is bipartisan, and it is short-term. But it gives us enough time to finish the appropriations process, which is the way we should be funding the government. So Republicans in the House and the Senate, President united, they've passed the bill. This is sitting right now at the Senate desk. We could pick it up and pass it tonight. We could pick it up and pass it tomorrow before the government shuts down. And then we don't have a government shutdown. It is totally up to the Democrats because right now they are the only thing standing between the American people and the government shutting down. We're all in favor of funding the government. And this is something that's been done routinely 13 different times by the Democrats when they have the majority. So it's to me, it's purely a hostage-taking exercise on the part of the Democrats. We are willing to sit down and work with them on some of the issues they want to talk about, whether it's the extension of premium tax credits with reforms. We're happy to have that conversation. But as of right now, this is a hijacking of the American people, and it's the American people who are going to pay the price.
So y'all know, if Democrats can get it passed with Republicans passing the bill, if Democrats can pass things through, who's really holding it up? It's because Republicans got filth, defunding everything but the police. I ain't saying defund the police. I'm saying they've defunded everything but the police. I think defund the police is stupid, honestly. But I'm saying they defunding everything but the police. Mark my words. Don't think I'm if you break in my house, I'm calling the fucking police on you, okay? Just saying. After they either be here to arrest you or put you in a body bag. I'm just telling you. One or the other. But they want to defund SNAP. They want to defund housing. They want to defund programs for children. They want to defund federal funds to schools for things such as, well, what they would consider would be critical race theory. They don't want that being taught. So if it's anything similar to it, they want to defund it so y'all don't get all that federal funding to put that crap in schools. Because we don't want no critical race theory. But they're defunding everything. And Democrats are like, no. Okay, let me tell you this. You know why I'm a Democrat? It ain't because I'm black. That I know that would be the obvious answer, but that's not it. But things that Democrats fight for are things that have put me through school, put me through college, sent me to summer camps. Now, I ain't get federal funding to go to summer camps. I'm not saying that. But there are people who give to the less fortunate. And I'm not saying everybody is less fortunate, but there are people that are. And a lot of people need to be looked after. Just based on certain social status. I seen somebody early in the chat say, this is about the haves and the have-nots. That's exactly what this bill is about. The haves and the have-nots. So the reason they're not signing it is because the haves will have more and the have-nots will have less, and you will see more have-nots end up and I don't have it at all. There's going to be more and more if this bill passes the way it is. And they put it in the government spending bill because you know you have to spend on the government. So this bill has to get paid. This bill has to get passed. So if this bill don't get passed, then we have a government shutdown. So what you do, you put all your eggs in this basket. You put all your eggs in this basket. And that's what they fighting for. What do I think about democratic socialists I like Bernie, I like AOC. I'm not too familiar with Ma'am Domi, but let me look at Ma'am Domi. I'm gonna have to read more on Ma'am Domi, but I'm gonna just tell you this. Now, AOC is kind of radical. Whatever, I don't care. But she fights for what she believes in. And because she fights for what she believes in, there are a lot of people that benefit from her fight. Okay? Just imagine if you were a displaced person for whatever reason. And you got into a situation that was, you know, too much for you to handle alone. You had to have somebody advocate for you. And they sent you somebody who, let's say you in jail. You in jail and you can't afford a lawyer. And whether you did the crime or not, you have to get a lawyer. So, and you don't have any money. So you have to get a court-appointed attorney. So, and mind you, you still gonna pay the court-appointed attorney. It's gonna be on your fees after you either win the case or lose the case. You still gonna have court fees. But if you're innocent or whatever, the fact that you have to have a court-appointed lawyer, and then they send you Better Call Saul, and you like, bruh, could I not get no better representation for this? Well, AOC is not Better Call Saul. If you want somebody like Better Call Saul, those are those quiet Democrats that's in Congress right now who won't speak up. They just shutting up. They just getting by. Bernie won't shut up. He won't let you just get by. And that is what Democrats need. People who won't shut up. Because you have to have somebody who's going to fight for you. Why would you want a court-appointed attorney who's not going to fight for you? That sounds so dumb. That's what's going to make you... The court-appointed lawyer, they don't get paid as much. They just want to get in, get out, and get on with their business. But if you do get a court-appointed attorney, you're just like, man, this person don't even care about me. Really? They don't want to fight for me at all. Well, AOC is your court-appointed attorney. Would you want somebody who's going to fight for you? Yes. She was appointed by the people. And she's fighting for the people who voted her in. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, do I think some of the stuff she says is, extreme? Yes. But do I think some of the stuff that Trump says is extreme? Absolutely. But sometimes it's necessary. I guess y'all don't think that. Y'all don't think extremism is necessary. But let's not get off course, because I'm not saying be extreme and ignorant. I'm saying being calculated with your responses. Don't be extreme and ignorant. I mean, like, if you gonna fight for something, like, you gotta be willing to die for it. And AOC, and Bernie are willing to die for their people and their beliefs. Trump not. He not going. He not going.
We met with the president for the first time since all of these issues started, even though we have requested repeated meetings with Leader Thune, Speaker Johnson, and the president. We have very large differences on health care and on their ability to undo whatever budget we agree to through rescissions and through impoundment, as well as pocket rescissions. And I think for the first time, the president heard our objections and heard why we needed a bipartisan bill. Their bill has not one iota of Democratic input. That is never how we've done this before. When I was leader, we negotiated 4 times with Republicans, and we never had a shutdown. And so it's up to the Republicans whether they want to shut down or not. We've made to the president some proposals. Our Republican leaders will have to talk to them about them, but ultimately he's the decision maker. And if he will accept some of the things we asked, which we think the American people are for, on health care and on rescissions, he can avoid a shutdown. But there are still large differences between us.
It was a frank and direct discussion with the President of the United States and Republican leaders, but significant and meaningful differences remain. Democrats are fighting to protect the health care of the American people, and we are not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of everyday Americans. Period. Full stop. There's a Republican-caused healthcare crisis that is causing hospitals and nursing homes and community-based health clinics all across the country, in rural America, urban America, small-town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities throughout this country. And that crisis is happening right now. And that's why we believe there is urgency to both keeping the government open, reaching a bipartisan spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people in terms of their health, their safety, their economic well-being, and quality of life, while also addressing the dangerous Republican healthcare crisis.
We met with the...
So y'all just heard 2 different sides of the coin. Republicans saying Democrats are holding it back. They said it's Republicans said this is a bipartisan bill. Democrats are saying this is not a bipartisan bill. We don't have anything in it. This is a Republican bill. This is a partisan bill. It's like Spider-Man looking ass. It's you. It's you. We don't know. I gotta read into this bill, man. I think I'm gonna have to. I think on my lunch break, I'm gonna just bust down this bill and see if I can make some sense of it. Because if it's even public information, it probably ain't even public information. Because if it was, then we as Americans would be able to see and be like, and we should be able to decide if, hey, this don't fit our policy. This don't fit our lifestyle. This is not what we should do as Americans. But if healthcare is one thing, I'm gonna tell you what. I haven't paid more to a hospital bill in, I think in 2011 or 2012. I went to the hospital after I got into a car accident. And after I got paid for that car accident, they shut it off. And I started a job where I got paid insurance. Where I got paid and they gave me insurance. And I had to wait like 90 days to get insurance. But I had a medical emergency that I had to go to the emergency room. And boy, that $3,000 bill, ooh wee! I ended up paying it one day. I ended up paying that whole bill. I paid it off. But I'm gonna tell you what, crazy, right? So just a few months ago, I had to take one of my children to the emergency room. Man, that bill was like, man, I had to pay like $567. I was like, damn, why? I thought my insurance covered this. They was like, no, I was like, them damn Republicans. Them damn Republicans tearing up the healthcare system, tearing up our insurance. Our insurance is able to not cover certain stuff that we need. Actually, and bro, I pay like $500 a month for insurance for me and my five. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. I'm like, damn, not like that. I'm like, damn, I need dual insurance. Boy. But yeah, healthcare is crazy these days. Like, next time you go to the doctor, you better hope. That's why I was like, I would have took my kid to the urgent care, but the urgent care was was closed. I only have like I think I got a $50 deductible at urgent care. But when you actually go to the hospital, I have $1,000 deductible. And so since I haven't reached that $1,000, then I had to pay the rest. So that's where that 500 and some came from. I was like, damn, that's crazy, yo. But that's the healthcare system that we in. And my health insurance sucked for real. Like, I wish I had my last job's insurance. Because they ain't that bad. This shit suck.
Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead. You know, the interesting thing is in 25 years and 50 years and 100 years from now, when the government is, you know, they talk about the government shutdown, they're going to be talking about the president of the United States. Who was the president at that time? Mm-hmm. They're not going to be talking who the head of the House was, the head of the Senate, who's running things in Washington. So I really think the pressure is on the president.
Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a...
This was approximately 38 seconds. Did y'all feel a little dumber? But that's neither here nor there. The president will be to blame for this spending bill. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Because you know what? As a Republican, they're going to blame you. Because your Republicans couldn't get it done. The Democrats got it done. When the Democrats were in office, they got it done. What does that tell y'all? If the Democrats was in office and they got it done, that means the Republicans are being sneaky and they're holding something out. They're putting something in this bill that they don't want, that we can't agree on. And that's the truth. Democrats got it done. Can the Republicans? They want to blame the radical left. Maybe the Democrats is doing it. I haven't even thought of it that way. Maybe the Democrats is doing it. I don't even know half of them.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.